But yeah, the first few lings are moving out, and this is super committed by Denver, even going for the Baneling Nest. He will run around as well, but Elazer just missing the vision here. So nicely timed.
Yeah, there's still a few giveaways for Elazer as far as the timing of the links arriving, and again that gap between the four links at the front and the next two links to follow, right? Like that's a very I went 13-12 type tell. So Elazer is going to evacuate his natural base for now. Making a spine in the main is actually very good news for Elazer. If he thought that this was a 12 pull, he would not be doing that. So he has to already be preparing for something like a Baneling Bust, and he very well is, as he already drops his own Baneling Nest, which is very interesting because it means that, you know, he can more likely than not hold. But the problem is, in going this Baneling Nest, that you don't have the possibility to counterattack after the fact.
So like, all right. Let's look at this. That Spine Call is just about to finish up. The first two Banes coming in here. Nice Evo block though. And would you say what Elazer is doing right now is like the textbook response, or the Baneling Nest is weird to you? What would you prefer?
I think that there are ways to hold without the Baneling Nest. I don't hate what Elazer is doing. What Elazer is doing right now is that there's no way in hell I'm gonna die to this response. But that opens up for Denver to do exactly what he's doing, which is just drone up, stop with the aggression, just be like, okay, you made a Baneling Nest, you don't have link speed forever now. You have an Evo Chamber that you can't really use. The Evo Chamber, in fact, is blocking the gas intake from Elazer from being as good as it could be. That's gigantic. And now Denver is just a happy camper. I mean, he's ahead, or he's even in workers. He has his expansion now ahead in workers. He has his expansion coming. He has link speed. He has map control. And this was a build that Elazer did where he couldn't afford to take any damage. And he took damage. And Denver is playing this very, very well, just identifying his position and going himself for the very quick spire, droning up like a madman. He knows that he is completely free to do whatever he wants. He won't be killed. He won't be attacked.
Yeah, and denying all the scouting as well. I mean, both of them are kind of setting up their queens really nicely, but yeah, Elazer's done a good job of catching up in drones, actually, which I'm very impressed by. Now, the way that Zerg works, obviously their drones become buildings, and Denver's committed a lot more to buildings. All the gases, the spire itself, all that kind of stuff, even as an Evo down. So in a lot of ways, the supply's a little bit deceiving. Like,
for sure.
Yeah, Denver's just in great shape. It's a real rough spot. Oh, cheeky, Elazer. Nydus worm on the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but that Nydus worm, I mean, it might as well be a church because it's gonna it needs some prayers here. It's not gonna work out, Ben. I mean, that's a complete desperation move. Denver's gonna see it. I like what Elazer was doing in terms of making a bunch of queens, but now actually canceling his third, thinking that he's not going to be able to hold it, making the roaches. All Denver has to do is look out for a Nydus. He has a beautiful Overlord spread. He's now searching for additional Overlords or links out on the map with his Muta. And at this point, all he has to do is make units, make sure the Nydus doesn't go up, and he has won this game.
Yeah, I mean, Denver's in really good shape, and poor Elazer. Nothing went right from this game. Oh, is he just going to queen walk the queens across?
Well, I mean, he doesn't have anything out on the map to even try to drop the Nydus because Denver cleared it all out. So, yeah, I don't mind this queen walk because, yeah, he's going to use the Nydus to reinforce instead. I mean, that is a lot of queens, for sure.
I mean, it actually is a lot of queens, and they do have +1, which is, it's a decent deal, and Denver's doing a good job of fighting in a position that's very difficult for Elazer. But yeah, these mutas, they've not reached their final form yet. They're going to be +1 very soon. And I mean, that's going to be a buttload of mutas. And this is, I mean, he's making it very tricky for Elazer.
Extremely so. Oh, no. Queen goes down without transfuses in spite of the transfuses being available. I love what you pointed out as well. Taking advantage of that choke earlier was Denver. But now he has the confidence to even jump on this mid-map, right? He doesn't have to jump on this mid-map, but he just thinks that he can. I would tend to agree with him. Most of the queens have been taken down. I would love for Denver to go to the front and kind of start working on the roaches, but Ling either counter-attack or surround on the queens will just put an end to this. Elazer has to kill with his roaches, so I like that he is choosing to forgo even looking at the third base. As I say that, he leaves a few roaches at the third base. And
okay. So like the mutas inevitably will clean this up. It doesn't look like there's enough roaches alive, really, to deal enough damage. But starting to make aggressive spore crawlers now, and you might be like, is he memeing? No, they're really good against mutas. That means the mutas will have to take them down, at least eventually. But these roaches, look at this. The lings are buying just enough time that the mutas can sit on top of them.
Yeah, I mean, Denver could lose 20 workers, and he would still be in a great position this game. Elazer still doesn't have a third base. And at the end of this, Denver is still going to have all of his mutas intact, right? So again, he has, I mean, he could lose so much here and still be fine. Yeah. I mean, the mutas are just being annoying on the other side of the map. You have to applaud the resilience of Elazer. And if we look at the supply the entire game, right? It's like, like it makes you put your hand to your chin and be like, surely there's a way, but there just hasn't been one that I see. The problem is that Denver technically has every advantage, right? It may not look like he has a massive advantage on the supply front, but roaches, we know, are deceitful on that front. They are overly inflated for their supply cost, right?
They are, but it is 1-1 roaches, which do pretty well against these lings. They're 0-0. It's not as if he's making his own roaches. Like, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that Elazer does have a chance, as weird as it sounds.
I mean, he has to cross this gap, I guess, with the spores. If you're Denver, just make some banelings if you really want to make sure that those spores, are going to get busted right away. He's going to go for a counter attack instead. I don't mind that at all. But yeah, all he has to do is make sure the spores never cross and burrow right under his muta. Right. And I mean, that sounds pretty easy. But the amount of spores that Elazer actually has on that side of the map, that is a lot of spores. True.
Yeah. I like you're totally right. We got to commend Elazer for actually still being in this game when it looked so dire. 6 infestors on the way. Okay. I mean, yeah, we were talking. Maybe if you land the perfect fungal center mass of the muta and chip in with a couple of corrosive vials in there. The problem is fungal's not what it used to be either, where if you actually catch the muta, you can just chain fungal them to death. If you catch this muta, they can still fan out, and you shouldn't really be killing more than a few, right? So, what's been happening to the queen camp, by the way? Because I feel like it hasn't gone up even remotely as much as Denver just been killing them constantly. How many queens have died this game for Elazer?
That's a great question.
18.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's quite a lot.
18. Yeah, and look at this. I mean, Denver, at this point, even if the spores lift up, I don't know that it would be enough, like, even if they start burrowing, right? Because Denver's feeling confident enough in his mutant number that he's now chipping in and killing spores one by one. But he has to be careful in this maneuver against the infestor, certainly.
Another run by from Denver, though. A lot of lings, and Elazer's like, damn it, you're just persistent with this, aren't you? And even though Denver's not always trading efficiently this game, he's got a way better economy. Oh, Elazer, he's down to 18 drones here, but the fungal.
Oh, massive fungal. Oh, and another one, center massive all the muta. Let's get excited, but there's the fan out, Ben. And unfortunately, not all the mutas are gonna fall. That means, these roaches did make their way into the natural base. Actually, where are the spores if they could follow through?
Quite a few of the spores are just sat behind. I think Elazer was quite slow to move in them because that muta count definitely been lowered a little bit here.
For sure. All right,
the queen's still shooting, and the spores are moving. They're starting to plant now. There's 3 down over here. I mean,
there's no more fungal though, and the mutas are back to full HP too.
Yeah, that's rough.
It's a rough one. It's a tough sell, but big props to Elazer for lasting as long as he did, at least, and for lasting on the aggressive of all things, right? Like, not even just defending until he dies, but rather trying to make something happen actively. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, Ben. I mean, if 18 queens were still here, then that could be good.
Hey, fungal's ready pretty soon, but the spores are dying. Fighting toe-to-toe with them. I mean, Denver, like, he is richer than his opponent, but there is a place, there is a moment where Elazer can still do this. That's 5 fungals available. 5 fungals. Oh my goodness. That's
all right, here is a couple of those. That is a way to start, Ben, and now the roaches making their way into the natural base. I would like for Denver to evacuate those. The queen's trying to get in front of the roaches to kill the weakened muta. And there's, 4 queens with a lot of transfuse available. I think that yeah, I mean, this is, you know, it's the best play that I could have ever imagined as far as making it as close as possible for Elazer.
You know, okay, so there's a lot of gas still for Elazer. I wouldn't mind if he just goes a lot of infestors at this point. Like, I think that's actually the play. And here he's trying to stay alive. He's only got one spore still left alive here, which is holding strong, trying to make a few more. I mean, this game is bonkers, man. What is going on?
If Elazer wins this game, I will give you $100 on PayPal, Ben. But
wow,
that's a big bonus. So get excited.
Come on, Miko, come on! I've got a baby.
But I mean, I mean, he has put a great effort. I don't know what else to say. It's ridiculous. It seems like the same play over and over, to where there's just about nothing left to save. But the next round of fungals, and maybe the next round of queens, and 3 more infestors that you were talking about. And the one glimmer of hope for Elazer is also that Denver has not looked to transition out of this at all, right? Like, we haven't seen anything but mutaling. At some point, maybe he could have gone for roaches. At some point, he could have done the spines that you were talking about. The natural base is going to fall for Denver. Start getting excited, Ben. This is happening.
I mean, look at that fungal again. And I mean, oh my goodness, what is happening? He's trying to keep him alive. That's another big fungal there. I mean, these mutas are so damn low.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. Those mutas are going to regenerate rather quickly. But hey, great opening for Elazer to go into the 3rd base of Denver here. And Denver is going to have to come with the rest of his muta. Now they have healed, unfortunately, for Elazer. This course not quite yet burrowed. Going after the infestors, but here's the reinforcing 3 infestors. And maybe 5 or so of those muta could fall here. The Nydus will finally get taken down. Mind you, Denver, Ben, I mean, they're like, this looks better than it, you know, you look at the minimap and you think, oh my god, if Elazer kills this base, he is maybe starting to do it. But the problem for him is also the mining at his natural base, right? So I think the best way that Elazer, or the most likely way that Elazer wins this game, is if Denver thinks that he has lost this game and leaves. But in my opinion, Denver is still in a pretty decent position with the muta, but I mean, he's out of mining bases.
I actually like this for Elazer, man. Like, for real. I mean, this is one of the most clowny games I've ever seen. The fact that Elazer has made it even remotely as close as it is, because Elazer's still sort of mining. Okay, that's brutal with those infestors. That is rough. And maybe Denver's like, oh, I've got it, man. I've got it. I mean, like, is Denver even mining? Okay, he's long distance mining.
Yeah, there's a lot of queens. Those infestors will gain value over time in accruing some energy. And there is, I mean, mining technically for Elazer. I'm surprised that he's not getting any more gas. I can understand why he wouldn't, but maybe 1 or 2 drones per gas wouldn't be the worst thing for him. Denver's trying to do what he can here. Even to bait fungals wouldn't be the worst play for him, who, I mean, he has the money to drop a hatchery, so I'm surprised that he hasn't yet.
Wow, 4 more infestors on the way. That's actually yeah, that's a really big deal. By the way, these offensive spores on the other side of the map still trying to scoot around, doing what they can. I mean, oh, that's a big fungal.
Ben, 500 IQ as well. Like, I was criticizing Elazer for the creep tumor earlier. Well, not really criticizing, but I thought maybe he could take that base. But now, actually, Denver wanted to take this base and he couldn't, right? Like, the drone went over to that location. Now it's having to go elsewhere. It's chasing us. I don't know what this game is, but it's amazing.
This is some great Starcraft, man. Like, this is not what you expect. And, I mean, 50 to 51 supply. What's the resources lost tab? I mean, Denver's lost so much more. Maybe 68 mutas have gone down in this game, where Elazer's been on 2 base for 20 minutes. I mean, what on earth is going on?
If Elazer wins this game, I'm changing my portrait as well to Elazer for the foreseeable future. So that's... yeah, I mean, this is incredible from the Polish player here to make it as close as he has. Finally, Denver decides to drop that 3rd hatchery at his triangle base expansion. But Ben, this is looking amazing.
I mean, this number of infestors now, like, he can actually start using Microbial Shroud against the mutas as well, which would actually be quite decent. Like, he has a lot of energy soon to spend, and yeah, these queens, he's going to start marching across the map. Oh. Has to be careful.
Have to be really careful, really careful. That's a lot of infestors. I mean, I was talking earlier about how you have to change so many fungals in order to kill this muta. So now, even if the muta spread, you could use 3 different fungals at a time. Once those infestors get full on energy, you could probably kill most amounts of muta no matter what, because that's a ton of infestors.
Hey, Cats, look at Denver's face right now. Like, he's starting to tilt, man. He's like, he's feeling it. He's
oh
feeling
my
the
god,
game's
yeah, he's leaning back.
Absolutely.
That smile is starting to fade.
He's like,
lean back.
Yeah, he's like, I lost this
Did
game.
I know this?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, the tilt back on the face, then we've all done that. No way. Okay. Oh no! He's asking for the draw.
Elazer shakes his head. This is like WWE, man.
That smile. I mean, he deserves that smile. I am, besides myself, this is such an amazing CVC, Ben. It's one of the most fun.
It's not CVC.
yeah, because Elazer asked for a draw to skill us just a couple of days ago. So that's what Denver, I think, is referencing as well. Partly is like when it got to a really awkward state for Elazer, he asked for a draw.
And I mean, this is only 2 mutas, and I mean, Denver did a good split on it, but look how much. Yeah, I think Denver's slowly realizing this game escaped him.
It's
Miko, thank you for the $100, my son.
Yeah, message me your PayPal. By all means, man.
No, I can't take $100 off you. I have nothing on the line.
I have to. No, I'll gladly pay it, man. I think I wanted to put something on the line here because I mean I've been saying this game has been over, and I couldn't be more pleased to be proven wrong here because it's an amazing game to commentate. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, we were both like, okay, what does Elazer do now? It's like, well, he dies. But it's like, how does he die? And look at this, look at this. I think these are the final moments
here.
This
is it. This might be it. Yeah, I think this is it. I mean, the Mutas, they've given up. GG in 3, 2, 1. And there it is. Denver losing the game and the